guys, welcome to my very first ever Sims 4 house build. Now, I thought it would be fun to just do a house build on my channel because I love The Sims. I've been building a lot for some reason lately, so I figured I'd share with you guys because it's a lot easier to do that than to just build by yourself. So for this first build that I've ever done, I actually had a really easy time with inspiration. I just Googled large homes and I found a beautiful home on Google that is a Spanish style home. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I want. So I decided to go ahead and go for a Spanish style home. I know it's kind of hard to tell at the moment. I already kind of had an idea of the shape that I wanted, so I went ahead and did the shape first before I started doing anything else. Sometimes it just depends on my mood. Sometimes, though, I will do it room by room, but then the shape usually ends up being kind of weird, so I decided to just go ahead and build the house first. Now you'll start to see the Spanish style kind of coming out. I had trouble with the windows. I couldn't figure out where I wanted them, and then once I figured out where I wanted them, they didn't quite look right. So you'll see me struggle a lot with the windows in this house because obviously it needs a whole bunch. And I was like, oh, maybe a porthole kind of window will look kind of Spanish style, and I liked it at first, but you'll see later I go back and change that here. Now, the roofing. I did not realize when I built this that the roofing was going to be such a pain in the butt. This is why I always do square houses, usually, when I'm building by myself. I wanted to do something kind of cool for this one, but yeah, this is why I always do square houses, because the roofing was horrible. Like, I was trying to get them to match up, and it just didn't quite go. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't get it to go. But I knew that I needed to do that kind of square roof. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and resize all this. And then I was like, okay, I guess that looks okay. So I ended up having some problems with the roofing. But I eventually figured it out. It kind of looks disconnected and stuff. But right there, I was like, I just don't know if that looks right. So I decided to color it the color that I was planning. And then I was like, okay, that's exactly how I wanted it to look. So I had to make sure that that was what the kind of roof that I wanted on there. I should have done a balcony right there. That would have made a cool balcony, but I didn't for some reason. I struggled so much with this roof. And so then I'm like, oh, maybe something over the front here. And then I go back and change that here in a little bit as well. This is my first time recording. I think next time I'll probably record in a little higher quality, just because I think that I was having problems with the columns here. I remember that. I was like, what in the world? These columns stick out. So then I was like, oh, well, I'll just make the porch cover just a little bit bigger. But I end up changing that again too. So I had some problems with the columns. And I couldn't figure out which ones I wanted. And then once I found the ones I wanted, they didn't work with the roof. So I ended up, the roof just keeps causing me problems. Oh, right here. So I had this idea. I was like, what about like a little, just like I did downstairs. You'll see here in a little bit, because I'll furnish that just so I can kind of see how it looks. I haven't furnished, this is only part one, so I haven't furnished anything else in the house except for like the outside. I didn't even furnish this little porch. So I was like, why not have some archways that go into like covered inside porch and then have like an inside door? And I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. So here I go again with the windows. I was just having so many problems finding the windows. Anyways, so you'll see me go ahead and furnish that here in just a little bit. And I apologize, this is my first build that I'm putting on YouTube, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna build like I normally do, and then sometimes I'll be building like in the night light so I can see what it looks like, and I completely forget, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, I've been building with it on dark forever, and then people are gonna be, I had so many problems with these windows, they just would not snap right, and I wish you could use Alt on the keyboard not just for moving objects around, but moving roofs, moving windows, all that stuff. Here we go again. I'm having problems with this roof. I hate it. I just like, I don't know. The roof was the only part of this that I was like, oh, what am I going to do? This doesn't look right. But I ended up fixing it in the end, and it ends up looking okay. But it took me forever to get this roof to look the way I wanted it to. Alright, so now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to paint this. So there's no good cream colored stucco in this game. And I have almost all the expansions. I will list below the expansions that I have so that you guys know. And I was trying to do one with like only base game content, but I ended up giving up because I really like some of the stuff from the other expansions. So here I am looking for a cream colored plaster, and I didn't find any. So I just ended up going with the white colored plaster and then some orange accents. So anyways, I tried really hard to not just do base game content, but I just really couldn't stand it. So I decided to just go ahead and do everything kind of not in base game, and just use all my expansions. So here I am coloring everything. This turns out looking really pretty on the outside, at least. Inside's still yet to be decided. So there I am placing some more columns. Oh, I accidentally went down one level apparently. Okay, so now I'm going to start furnishing this inside covered porch thing. And I wanted it to look different, so I go back and change the windows here. They're like little archways. I never use those windows because I don't think they're realistic windows. I think they're better for like a covered porch. But in this one, I was like, oh, I can use it. And here I am looking for a light. I ended up going with that one because I was like, okay, that looks okay. They got all the odds and ends for an outside. Oh, I was having problems with the floor. That little area right there, the front area, was very glitchy. You'll see here, I end up having to restart the game because it was just glitching like crazy. Anyways, but there's some things that are just missing for this Spanish style home. So I was like, oh, what am I gonna put in here? What kind of light am I gonna use? But I ended up finding the stuff that I need in the end, and just for like, I wanted to furnish this to see what it looked like. So this episode is not going to have any kind of furnishing going on. I end up putting the archways wrong, so I have to go back and fix them. There we go. These things though make making a Spanish style home super fun, and I forgot about the shift button for a second there. There we go. All right. Okay, so now get ready, because this is about where, oh no, I decided I wanted to do those on the outside. This is about where it starts glitching out, and I'm like, what in the world? So we'll see. Okay, right there. All right. I was like, I don't like the black, so I'm gonna change the color. And then I go and pick up one of those lights and do that. There we go. I think this actually ends up looking really good. Oh, that light's off. I'm going to fix that before it goes into the gallery. I'll fix it and make it look more centered. Okay, anyways. So now I'm adding lighting to the outside, and I'm like, oh, let's do a little porch out here. Yeah, that'll be cute. And then, oh, am I going to do it? No, that's later on. Never mind. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of landscaping here. And again, there it is. It's dark. I'm not realizing yet because I just don't care, apparently, but it's dark, and I'm just landscaping away. Nobody cares. And then here in a second you'll see, I'll be like, it looks dark. Oh, I forgot to switch it. Oh, it's after I put the lights in. I'm like, oh, maybe I should do this in the daytime hours. Oh, here we go. Here's where the glitch begins. Okay, so I put that in, and then I put the floor back because I was mad that it took my floor. And I'm like, this game won't do what I want it to. So then I just couldn't get it. And then right there, it disappears, the piece of the fence. And I'm like, put it in there. And I do this like 300 times. I'm going to switch the view. Nope, not working. Okay. And then I put it back in, place it, and I'm like, oh, where is it? I'm like, oh, maybe I can put a fence there. No, and then half the fence disappears. I'm like, okay, we're reloading. So, la-da-da. So I reloaded the game here. And by the way, I put this in New Crest in my game just because it's where I keep all the stuff that I build, but it can fit pretty much on, I'll find out what size lot it is, and I'll tell you in the next episode. Taking a drink of my Gatorade while we're waiting. This took forever to load back, but then all of a sudden, the fence was all there, and I was like, okay, cool. Alright, so, then oh, there it is. I was like, why is it nighttime? So, now here I go. I'm going to go ahead and do the covered porch. And I was like, okay, so diagonal. These roofs, I'm telling you, I don't know what possessed me to do something with so much diagonal. And I was like, wait, that doesn't fit. There we go. So what possessed me to do something so diagonal? I don't know. But I ended up fixing it. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, and then I didn't have move objects on right here because... yeah, because I just reloaded the game and you have to reset. That's what I don't like. Like, I wish all the things would stay. And I was like, oh, I need light. And I'm going to go around the porch real quick. There we go. And then I was like, oh, palm tree. That'll work. I'm just going to... I couldn't figure out a way for this to fit up against the wall where I knew that it wouldn't be sticking through the wall. And then I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. I'm going to put some more stuff there. And I put, I think, another palm tree in the backyard, too, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. Somewhere along the house, I think. I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. There we go. So, and I'm just going to continue landscaping all the way around the house, but sometimes I really like the landscaping part because it makes you feel like super simmer. Like you're like, oh yeah, I can landscape like a boss. Excuse me. Then I was like, oh, those doors are perfect for this kind of house. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this backyard? So I was like, oh, I'm going to make a pool. Because it just looked empty. And I was like, oh, why did I throw it on this size lot? I just don't even know. Because I could have done such a smaller lot. And then here I am. I'm going to go look up the... you can see my little window is skewed to the side. I'm looking up the code, or the keyboard shortcut to make diagonal floors because I couldn't remember it. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's Control F, and that will change it to quarter floor tiles so you can do diagonal floors. But I had to like really search through the list in order to do it. And here in just a second, I'll come back and I'll be like, ah, I did it. Man, it took me forever to go through that list. I have a list that I keep up whenever I'm gaming. Oh, here we go. Shortcuts. Just because you need them when you're making a build, especially when you want to do something like this. So yeah. And so at first I'm like, okay, perfect. That pool is fine. And then I was like, no, I just don't like it. So here in a little bit, you'll see me build some more onto it because I wanted like a little seating area or something. So yeah, you'll see me do that here in a minute. And I was like trying to figure out something kind of cool to put. It's like, okay, I'll put one there, I'll put one there. And you're about to see me do my favorite hack when it comes to lighting, but first I'm going to put like a little... I mean, I light the crap out of my house here in just a second, but you'll see. I'm getting ready to do my little favorite trick that I do, but I was like, let's put this long grass thing around here. I was really happy, though, with the way this turned out. Oh, right there. I keep forgetting to push shift when I'm laying the grass thing. I don't know why, but I always have to have it facing towards me when I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look quite right. And then I put like a palm tree there. There we go. That's where I put the palm tree. I put it there because I just could not figure out. The grass just didn't look right like it did on the other side because the house is different. It's not symmetrical. So to have this symmetrical area back here, and I'm like, okay, dark time. I accidentally like pushed the L button on the keyboard too many times. So here we go. And then you're going to see me here in just a second do my favorite trick, which is take one of these little lights and put them down at the base so that it lights everything up on the house. And I'm like, oh, where can I put this that won't show? And I ended up just putting it on the top because I'm going to put some trimmer on the roof in the next episode. And then you'll see me put the trim, and you'll see that it's I believe, if I remember, it's been a little bit since I've had a house with this kind of roof. I think that the trim hides it. Now on other houses with different kinds of roof, it definitely hides it. But I really like how this landscaping ended up. It just really turned out well. Okay. And then I'm getting ready to go dark again. And I'll go around the whole entire house this time because I like completely forgot about it. I was like, oh, maybe I should put it, and I'll put it even upstairs too. There we go. And it's just hidden by the roof, so it doesn't really matter where I put it. Whoop, I screwed that one up a little bit though. All right. And I'm like, this looks so empty. And I'm like, okay, maybe if I take and like use the train paint tool and go around the pool, it'll look a little bit better. Oh, sorry, emails. And I'm like, no. And then I kind of like made it a little more faded and a little bit bigger and went back around it. And I was like, that doesn't really look good either. What am I going to do? I'm like, oh, let's put a fence around it. And so I decided to put a fence around it. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of starting to look better. And then I put like that really cool fence. I love that little fence. It's cute. That little gate. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll put like a little seating / grilling area back here. So, and then I had problems with the floor. Again, it was glitching so badly on the floor and I couldn't figure out why. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just delete this. And then I couldn't get it to delete the floor, so I had to use a sledgehammer tool. I realized I was building in the dark, so sometimes I do that. Oh, I forgot to put lighting out there. Dang it. Oh, well. Oh, and here's where I place the couch that doesn't match. And since I'm so far out, I don't realize it. So, and I go up and fix it here in a minute. But I was like, I zoomed in and I was like, it looks weird. And I'm trying to find a rug that looks outdoorsy-ish. Now I'm trying to put a grill. There we go. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. So I go back and fix it. There we go. And coffee table that looks outdoorsy enough. And there we go. I'm like, okay, I need some knickknacks. What can I put out here? And I'm like, oh, this would be cool for the pool. Nope, not gonna fit there. But it can fit right there. And then I'm like, I want some towels on top of it. And some robes on the fence. Oh, you know what I might add when I'm furnishing is I may add like a little bathroom area out here. That'd be kind of cool. And I was like, oh, changing shade. That'd be fun to put. But I ended up not putting it on that side because then the Sims wouldn't be able to walk through there. And I love these little things I put behind the sofas. They're just really cute. So I needed some clutter, so I'm just adding some clutter around here. Gotta look like it's lived in. I was like, oh, this is kind of, no, that's not gonna go there. So then I end up putting like some tea sets and stuff. I was like, I just don't know what I'm gonna put here. It just took me forever to try to decide what I wanted. I was like, oh, something in the corner. I was like, okay, that's starting to look better, and I'll put some trees up. So that is it, and thanks for watching.